What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Good Real Hunting. Welcome back, or if you are new here, I am the BrettMan Stewart, and today we are going to be ranking the Jurassic Park franchise from the worst to the best. And how is this ranking going to be determined? Well, of course, kind of like the last ranking that I did here on the podcast, it's going to be based on personal opinion. Again, this is just my opinion, my list. So it's more than likely going to be different than yours. I'm not saying mine is more correct than yours. It's just my list. And yes, I will be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, which is the newest installment into the Jurassic Park franchise. And for that section of the ranking, it will be spoiler free. So I will not be spoiling anything for Jurassic World Rebirth. So the question is, which films roar to the top and which films deserve extension? Hold on to your butts and let's find out. All right, kicking off the ranking here. This is the worst movie I have in this franchise. Number 7 is going to be Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And I rewatched this movie. I rewatched all these movies in the franchise to lead up to the brand new one of Jurassic World Rebirth. And I remember the first time watching Fallen Kingdom, I was absolutely not a fan of this movie at all. But on a rewatch, my second time ever watching this movie, ever since they came out to the theater, this movie is not as bad as I remembered. It had solid ideas. It had some really solid tension throughout this movie, especially when you dive into the third act of this movie, with kind of like that. Just that really high elevated raptor, just all the scenes with it really built good tension in that. And of course, we got the strong emotional scene with the Brontosaurus as they are leaving the island. The island is just totally destroyed by the erupting volcano, killing most of the dinosaurs that they did not capture. And seeing that Brontosaurus, I think, just in my opinion, it really just put people the wrong way with that scene. They really didn't like seeing that scene. But I felt like that scene was very important in that movie, just to kind of explain the seriousness of that situation with the story that they were, or at least they were trying to tell. And of course, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are really good in this movie. I just like their dynamic between each other, and they each get their own separate individual scenes where they stand out a lot as well. So I always have had a good time with their performance. But just what really holds this movie back for me, just the story is just meh. That's the really honestly the best way I can describe the story. Just it lost my interest in the second half of the movie where it goes to that like mansion and all that and just like auctioning off these dinosaurs and all that. I was just okay with that. It just nothing really, just it wasn't the direction that I would have really taken the story, especially when we get to the whole cloning of humans. Definitely was not a fan of that. I did feel like that is needed in my dinosaur movies, especially like the Jurassic movies. Just not a fan of it. So don't include cloning humans into my dinosaur movies. Just give me dinosaurs. And that is why Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom falls last into my franchise ranking. Next up, coming in at number 6, is going to be Jurassic World Dominion. And yes, this is the movie where we're going to have the original big three characters from the first Jurassic Park, and we're going to throw them in with our new characters in it. And as you'll probably kind of already predict what my number 1 is going to be, I just love the original three characters of Dr. Grant, Dr. Malcolm, and Ellie. I liked him in this one. I just like to see him again. Just again, I love the first original Jurassic Park movie, and it's kind of unique because around the year of 2022, we had just a lot of these movies. Just this is a time where the older characters are passing the torch to these new characters. Kind of an example of one I'm trying to talk about is Scream, the fifth Scream movie, where they brought back the original characters of Dewey, Sydney, and Gail, bringing them back to put over the newer characters into the new Scream franchise at that point, with the Carpenter sisters. So that's what kind of like what Jurassic Park was kind of replicating in their own way of using that original three to pass the torch to the newer characters of like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's his character. Which, speaking of which, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard were still good in this movie. Again, I'll just go ahead and say again, I really enjoyed their performances. I enjoyed their dynamic with one another. This was probably, if I'm going to be honest, their weakest together. But them as individuals was still phenomenal and still really good. And I also really enjoyed the raptor chase scene in the city when they were trying to hunt down the little girl that was cloned from Fallen Kingdom. I really enjoyed that scene. Had a lot of good tension, and plus, raptors are just cool. They're personally my favorite dinosaur. So anything with a raptor in it, you will always sell me on that. But again, what just really gets me with Dominion is just another meh story. It's like this time around, we were focusing on like locusts just destroying crops so that a business can just make millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars. Sorry, that was Titus O'Neil WWE right there, getting the better of me. But yeah, we're going to focus on them more than just the dinosaurs. I just didn't like that. And plus, it was just like a rinse and repeat. Hey, somebody gets taken. We're going to go try to find him. And then just dinosaurs are going to get in the way, blah, blah, blah. Just the story really didn't do much for me, especially again, I'm a raptor fan, so anything with Blue the raptor I'm always going to have full attention of, and Blue was hardly in the story, and I get it. Blue can't just travel from continent to continent, totally understand that, but when you focus on Blue so much within this like little trilogy of the Jurassic Worlds, with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and this one Jurassic World Dominion, I better have Blue in it, and Blue being a prime focus in it, instead of just Blue's little baby, like Mini Blue. I shall call him Mini Blue. There you go, Mini Me. But yeah, I just wanted more Blue. And then, of course, the 2-on-1 dinosaur fight at the end, I just didn't find that was really well done. I just thought it was meh. Again, I like just using that word meh, but that's pretty much the best way I could describe this 2-on-1 dinosaur fight. It just didn't do much for me. And of course, if you kind of know me, again, first time getting to know me, I'll let you know. I hate movies that are just way too long unnecessarily. And this movie was way too long unnecessarily. So coming in at my number 6 is Jurassic World Dominion. Moving on to number 5, it's going to be the brand new Jurassic Park movie into this franchise. It is Jurassic World ReBirth. And I'll say this is a solid effort to bring back like the horror elements of the Jurassic Park, that like the two earlier movies, that which I will talk about later, was really like focused on along with their action adventure elements. So again, great effort into Birth here, but it's not quite there yet, but I again appreciate the effort. It's just the fact that I need a rated R true horror movie of Jurassic Park. Just make the dinosaurs just extremely scary, make the whole movie scary. I feel like that's just what we want, and I think us Jurassic Park fans kind of need at this point, because I'm pretty sure there is a movie coming out around the end of August called Primitive War, which is a horror movie of dinosaurs. And I feel like that's what Jurassic Park needs to kind of focus on now. It's just those true horror elements. I feel like it would really benefit from it. It just really be different from the last couple of Jurassic Park movies that we got. I did like the group of characters, like the family, the four family people, along with that other guy, which I cannot remember on my top of my list, so I apologize. I thought they were solid, and I thought the just the group that are focusing on the mission, which I totally got distracted by one character of Dr. Loomis. I was like, wait, is that Dr. Loomis from Halloween? So I thought that was really cool. I'm not sure if that was done intentionally or not, but thought that was really cool. But the standout for me was Sora Bennett, who was played by Scarlett Johansson. She was my favorite character in this movie. And just from a character perspective to all the characters, I just needed more character development in this movie. I just kind of felt like we only just got a glimpse of this of the characters and all that, but I felt like we just needed more from it. And of course, what I really didn't like about this movie is just, to me, it's a weak plot. Like, hey, we're gonna go on this island. We're just gonna get these three things, and then we're just gonna leave. Oh, and something gets thrown into it, and it just makes this whole thing like it's been done before. I just felt like it was weak. I felt like we could have done something more unique and different. And the newer dinosaurs in this movie, I didn't like them. I just, to me, they just look too CGI, which I know we're in the world of CGI over practical effect. Just it helps get movies out there faster. But just honestly, they didn't look that good. They didn't interest me whatsoever. The only real dinosaur in that movie that I just liked, just because it was just a normal dinosaur, it's the T Rex. So at least I like the T Rex, but the rest of the dinosaurs are just okay, because at the end of the day, OG dinosaurs are amazing as they are. Just keep us giving us those original dinosaurs. Quit mixing them up, quit crossbreeding them. We don't need it. And my last thing with this movie is just don't eat a Snickers. It'll get you killed. So my number 5 is Jurassic World Rebirth. All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be The Lost World of Jurassic Park, the sequel to the original Jurassic Park. And I thought this was a really good sequel. It focused on the main things you need for a sequel movie to be good. It's just double everything that the original provided to us. So that would mean more dinosaurs, more action, more scary elements to it. And in my opinion, I thought it did a solid job with that. I wish, though, that we could have gotten the other characters of the big three of Dr. Grant and Ellie into this movie. But if you have to choose one of the three to do a movie just by themselves, Dr. Malcolm was that particular character. Perfect choice, in my opinion, because he is the more entertaining character and had more standout movies in the original than some of those other characters like Sam Neill. And I cannot remember the Ellie's actress who plays Ellie. So again, I apologize for that. Trying to feel this more natural here. Loved the first half of this movie of the Lost World of Jurassic Park, and the story of Dr. Malcolm chasing down his girlfriend because the girlfriend's not really having the ideal of the dangers of that world of Jurassic Park. So I really like that story. Trying to save the dinosaurs from the poachers, because that is the more realistic step to take in the direction of a story of a villain from the original movie. The Again, we're back at raptors, and every raptor scene in this movie I absolutely loved. It just showed the dangers of the raptors in that whole like grass area where it's just you couldn't see them and they were attacking. Of course, you got to attack it. They attack side to side, never in the front. All great, and the raptors chasing down our group of characters. That whole scene was great. And also the trailer attack of the T-Rex parents, I like to call them. The T-Rex parents trying to save their little baby. That whole trailer scene was just absolutely great. Had a lot of tension, and we worry about those characters that were in danger. So again, thought all that was really, really well done. But where I feel like this movie like kind of loses its momentum is when they went to San Diego, which we all know what San Diego means. So I'll let you kind of connect the pieces there. But again, the momentum was lost. I wish they kind of focused it more on that island and just for those characters to get off the island and maybe kind of use the San Diego aspect for maybe a potential next movie and all that. But I just didn't feel like it was needed for this one. And of course, it has corny moments in this as well, like the little girl using her gymnastics to kick the raptor. I thought that was honestly kind of ridiculous, and I felt like the raptor would just catch her leg or anything. But like, I thought it was a little ridiculous. One of the corny moments in this movie, but it still has its charm. Really solid sequel. Number 4 is The Lost World of Jurassic Park. All right, we are in our top three now. And to start off that top three, at number three is going to be Jurassic Park 3. And this movie is just so much fun. And I absolutely love having Dr. Grant back. He is actually my personal favorite of the big three. Sam Neill, I just think he brings just such an interesting character of Dr. Grant, and Sam Neill does the best job portraying that character of Dr. Grant. And I did really enjoy the story of this of like, Dr. Grant, I wouldn't say kidnapped, but whom I can, he really did get kidnapped just in a very unique and creative way, trying to help save everybody from this island to get off the island while trying to find a little kid as well. Just all these dynamics just to try to get off the island. Really enjoy it. Really just simple storytelling. And I also like the small story of the fact that just family bonds are strong in the face of danger. So when that family finds their kid, like you could tell that there was just some like separation, of course, like with the mom and dad being divorced and the kid kind of like having to deal with that. Just at the end of the movie, they just again just had a stronger bond with that. And we finally got pterodactyls in this movie. I was kind of curious as a Jurassic Park fan, when in the world are we going to get pterodactyls in this movie? And when they finally brought it to us, it was awesome. That whole scene of the bird cage with all those pterodactyls was just so well done. And pterodactyls are just so damn scary. They grab you and lift you up in the air and drop you. Like, talk about scary stuff right there. Almost just as scary as a raptor and a T Rex, if you ask me, as the third scariest dinosaur of the whole dinosaur family. We get more raptor fun in this as well. And as I've been saying throughout the entirety of this ranking, I love raptor action or anything with raptors. And I like the little small kind of like the story plot in this. Just another small one here of that kind of like the assistant to Dr. Grant stealing the raptor eggs, and the raptors are just chasing them down along with the big bad dinosaur in this. So I thought that was really cool. And just again, raptors are badass. What can I say? I love me raptors. And the side characters, I kind of mentioned in with the small family and all that. Side characters were solid and they had their fun and good moments in this as well. We get some corny scenes at times, especially with Dr. Allen's dream sequence of the raptor going, Allen, like it was absolutely not needed. You could have done a true scary element in that dream sequence, but it gets ruined with that corny joke. And then of course with the kid with the whole like T-Rex like pee saying like you don't want to know how I got it. Like it does it okay. It kind of takes away from the seriousness of the movie and the situation. I just wasn't a fan of that. And the new big dinosaur, I kind of referenced it a little earlier. It was very cool looking, and I thought it had a great establishment at the beginning of just how badass and how dangerous this dinosaur is by taking out that T Rex very quickly at the beginning. But I just felt like towards the end of the movie, it kind of had like that particular dinosaur kind of had a weak ending, and it's not very memorable with its last scene of the movie. So just wasn't a fan of that. But again, just another solid entry into this franchise at number three, Jurassic Park 3. All right, coming in at number two is going to be Jurassic World. This is the Jurassic Park movie brought back after a couple of years' absence, and it is back as I kind of treat this as a requel, kind of like this is a new like trilogy within this franchise, the start of it. But I kind of consider this particular one like a requel, and then I thought it was a perfectly executed requel. It gives nods and respects to the original Jurassic Park movie, especially where the two kids find the entrance of the original Jurassic Park. I'm not talking about the big gate. I'm talking about kind of like, I would say kind of like the welcome center. I feel like that's the best way I can describe it. Just a little nods then and there. They did a really good job giving respect to the original Jurassic Park movie. Said it before and I'll say it for a final time. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, I loved them in this movie. This movie in particular, I loved them the best at. You got Chris Pratt being a raptor trainer, which again, love raptors. I'm gonna, of course, I love Chris Pratt's character just for that reason alone. He is a badass in this movie, and I thought Chris Pratt was just awesome. Bryce Dallas Howard, I liked her character development in this movie. Just, started off being a cold-hearted corporate person to a sympathetic or showing sympathy towards the dinosaurs, which I thought was, again, great character development. And she did a really good job, even if she wore those high heels running from a T-Rex, which I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. If she was like barefooted or something, I could maybe buy it a little bit more, but just click, 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 click on those high heels running from a T-Rex, like, come on now. The new evil dinosaur in this movie, don't have the particular name for it, but I just, that the pretty much the bad guy in this, if you can consider this, or antagonist dinosaur, I thought he was a total badass. Had a lot of great smart scenes. The camouflage was part raptor, just to convince those raptors to turn on the humans and all that. I thought all that was just absolutely cool and absolutely awesome. Speaking of the Raptors, yet again, we got badass Raptor sings. The Raptor sings were so cool when Chris Pratt's character was riding that motorcycle through kind of like the jungle and the Raptors were following him. I thought that was definitely one of the standout moments in this movie and thought that scene was just so awesome. And the last act of this movie was just so much fun. And this was way better on how to do a 2-on-1 dinosaur fight of a T-Rex and the Raptor versus that evil dinosaur. Of course, that water whale looking dinosaur got interfered with the fight, of course. I just wanted a 2-on-1 fight, and that 2-on-1 fight was just so awesome. And lastly, really good amounts of humor in this movie. I thought they were perfectly placed. So it does, again, take away a lot of the seriousness that Sing is trying to set up. And of course, I got to give shout out to Margarita Guy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when the pterodactyls were attacking the crowd inside of the park. You saw this guy grabbing his 2 margaritas. If you just find it at the right point, a good pausing point, some random cast person grabbing his margaritas and just running away from it. Bravo to you, sir, putting your priorities on those margaritas over your safety. I salute you. Number 2, Jurassic World. You could probably guess this, but my number 1 is going to be the original from 1993, the one that started it all, our love for dinosaurs, Jurassic Park. This movie is a top 10 movie of all time for me personally, which I'm sure I'll do a top 10 movies of all time to try to get to know me and what my favorite movies of all time are. You are guaranteed to get Jurassic Park on that top 10 list, because this movie is just a childhood movie for me. I will watch this movie religiously when I was 8, and I just loved everything. This movie actually made me love dinosaurs at a point when I was young as well. I loved every character in this movie. I thought every character was perfectly, and I mean perfectly, casted. The big 3, which I mentioned them earlier, Dr. Grant, Ellie, and Dr. Malcolm, were absolutely awesome in this movie. They each have their standout moments, and it's just they do such a great job just carrying this story from beginning to end. The kids like the girl and the little kid and the guy kid, I thought they were great as well. Because again, with child acting, it's kind of like what Forrest Gump says. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with child acting. And I thought the child acting was really great in this one. John Hammond, who I kind of, at times when I was little, kind of mixed them up with Colonel Sanders and KFC. But John Hammond, what a legend. Without your crazy delusional idea, we wouldn't get this whole world of dinosaurs and Jurassic Park. So John Hammond, of course, I gotta salute you as well. And Samuel L. Jackson and Wayne Knight were in this movie too, and I thought they were absolutely great, with Samuel L. Jackson saying, "Hold on to your butts," or Wayne Knight saying, "Dachshund, Dachshund here, Dachshund." See, nobody cares. Like, it's just such a hilarious scene, and I just enjoyed them every single time I watched this movie. And of course, the dinosaurs, absolutely phenomenal. They look amazing. The Triceratops, the practical Triceratops looked awesome. The whole design of the T-Rex and the Raptors still hold up today. Like the effects on those Raptors and the T-Rex and all the other dinosaurs, those effects still hold up great to this day, many years later. And of course, lastly, and I haven't really talked much about him because I had to save the best thing for last. John Williams with the score with the theme song of Jurassic Park. Absolutely legendary. And also the piano score at the end of the original Jurassic Park movie is just so emotionally powerful. John Williams, you are just a legend, and Jurassic Park will definitely be one of your top legendary scores that you have ever done and what you would be remembered for. So, John Williams, I will also salute you. And I could talk about this movie all day long, which I know we do not have all day long. So, I'll just end it at that for this time. I might just do an individual episode about my love for Jurassic Park, the original from 1993. So, my number one is Jurassic Park. And that is my ranking of the Jurassic Park franchise. Let me go over the list again of the franchise real quick from worst to best. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at my number 7. My number 6 is Jurassic World Dominion. Number 5, Jurassic World Rebirth. Number 4, The Lost World of Jurassic Park. Number 3, Jurassic Park 3. Number 2, Jurassic World. And number 1, the original Jurassic Park. So let me know, what do you think about my ranking of the Jurassic Park franchise? Do you think I got most of them correct? Did I get it perfect? Or is this the absolute worst ranking that you have ever seen? If you are listening on YouTube, be sure to leave a comment down below so we can get that discussion rolling. Or if you're listening on podcast, be sure to leave a 5-star review and also leave a comment of your Jurassic Park franchise ranking as well. And I do appreciate everybody for listening here today. And I got to give some shout outs of the social media. We do have a Good Will Hunting Facebook group where we discuss all movies and show, mainly in the horror genre, but sometimes we like to get distracted if something cool were to come out. Like soon, we're going to get some Superman talk. So I'm sure we will have some Superman discussions. But we, again, typically like to stay in mainly in the horror genre. So if you like horror movies, join our Facebook group. And we also have a Good Will Hunting Instagram account where you could be kept up with all channel updates, streams, and podcast announcements. And we also have a TikTok, a Good Will Hunting TikTok, where you can catch or my real-time reactions, which is a out of theater reaction video, and any real news, which is like horror movie news that is big to cover. I will do TikTok videos on that. So be sure to follow us on TikTok. We are almost at 100 followers, and I would like to keep growing on the TikTok side of things. Of course, the YouTube channel, again, if you're listening on YouTube here, or if you're not, you can find us on YouTube by typing in Good Real Hunting, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps beat the evil algorithm that is YouTube, because we like for this YouTube channel to be the best that it can absolutely be for our listeners and our subscribers. And of course, we're also on the podcast game here with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. You know what to do on that. Leave us again a 5-star review, and just leave us a comment on how we can better improve our channel and this podcast. And lastly, we got to thank our amazing Patreons and YouTube members. Thank you for being the backbone of this podcast and YouTube channel. We salute you. And coming up next, I will be doing a Superman small ranking of the franchise. I have not seen Superman's 3 and 4, but I will rank the rest of the Superman franchise, including the brand new James Gunn Superman that I will be seeing very, very soon. Until next time, keep hunting for the good reels and have a great day.